What's up, everybody? This is Brad with the Daily Disney Blog Podcast. And hello, this is a live video, as live as it's going to get. It's not a live stream or anything, but I'm recording it live, no editing out anything. What you see is what you're going to get here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello, how are you? Thank you for watching. If you're just listening to the podcast, it's going to sound just like a normal podcast. The live version does not have music to it, but you can see me, which I guess is a plus. If you really wanted to see how I record the podcast, you can see my Darkwing Duck watch hanging from my, I'm wearing a Darkwing Duck t-shirt today, by the way, which I know is a surprise to everybody. But you can see my Darkwing Duck watch. Look, he opens up. You can see the gas gun and the little bombs there. Look how cute he is. It's so cute. He's hanging from a microphone. Today, we are going to talk about a few things that have happened. It's not really a news show, but it's kind of my reaction to a few things that have happened over the past few days that we've heard about. We'll save the best for last, in my opinion. Well, I was going to do these in a different order, but let's start here. Today, two things have happened today. Two. They're going to be doing an annual pass holder event tonight at Universal, both Islands of Adventure and Universal Park proper. It is for pass holders only, and they're only allowing, I think they said 8,000 people into both parks, so around 4,000 in each park. They're going to have everything open and very exciting. Looking forward to that quite a bit. That's going to be a ton of fun to go hang out and do it after hours over there. Going to ride the Hulk at night. Very excited about doing that. So that is exciting. But also today was something over at Disney that was very exciting. I got there pretty early. I got to Epcot around 10 o'clock. World Showcase opens at 11. For you guys who do not know that, they don't open right at 9 when the park opens. They open a little later at 11 o'clock. And I stood in line at the China Pavilion to get my picture taken with Mushu. And by the time they opened up the line, they took everybody into the China Pavilion. They actually took you into the room where the China film is, like the lobby for that, which was kind of nice. We weren't standing out in the heat. It was very nice. But they had Mulan and Mushu meeting with guests, which was really exciting. I mean, it was a lot of fun to go and meet some cool rare characters. They had some other ones in England. Oh, hang on. In Germany, Dopey was out meeting with Snow White, which was pretty cool. And over in the UK, the Queen of Hearts was meeting people with Alice. So that's pretty cool. I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more with that if they were going to be. What's the word I'm looking for? Incorporating, that's the word I meant to say. Incorporating characters from the different lands. It'd have been cool to see Genie with Aladdin and Jasmine in Morocco. And it would have been kind of cool to see Beast with Belle. I know he's doing that memory maker thing right now over at Magic Kingdom, but it would be cool to see a few more characters like that'd have been fun, but that's just for me. You know what I mean? That's one of those things that will probably never happen. I missed my chance. I missed it. Ugh. My son was in the hospital. I had to miss it. I was actually supposed to go to that event, and it kills me that I didn't go. But my son being in hospital, obviously, I mean, I shouldn't even have to say it comes first, but just for court record, that goes first. So that was exciting, and they were also doing it over at Magic Kingdom, and they were doing, as far as I know, it was just Pinocchio and the two villains from Pinocchio, Foulfellow and Gideon. I think I'm remembering those names right. Which was cool. I heard it was a really, really long wait. I was gonna go to Magic Kingdom, but I had some stuff to do today. That was for my family who's coming into town this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to head over to Magic Kingdom like I said I was going to get to go, but that's okay. I wasn't going to wait in line for that meet and greet. I was going to wait for Dopey too, but Dopey and Snow White were not out when I walked by, and there wasn't that big of a line, so I don't know if they had them in a different area, but I did get to see Queen of Hearts, which was cool. I also got to do something new that has been around for a little bit, but it was new to me because I hadn't done it yet, and this was the Shanghai Disney Preview Center, which is located in the China Pavilion as well, right next door. They kind of emptied you out into this room when you met Mushu and Mulan. Not really, you could go around the line, but I forgot to mention the line for Mulan and Mushu. That was apparently the most popular one. I spoke to a cast member who was standing in line there, and they were saying that it was like a 3-hour wait to get your picture taken with Mushu, because Mulan was there too, but you can meet Mulan every day of the week. The special part of it was getting to meet Mushu. So that was a crazy wait. I wouldn't have waited that long to meet Mushu. I'm glad I got to meet him though. I've never had my picture taken with Mushu, and it was was a lot of fun being able to meet a rare character like that. I wish I'd been able to do that with the other ones, but you know, life comes into play sometimes. It can't just all be park fun. I wish it could. If some crazy billionaire wants to pay me like 30 grand a year to just go to Disney parks and report on it, I'll do it. Somebody's got to do it. But, you know what I mean? Life comes into play sometimes too. So that was a lot of fun. They were doing a similar event over at Disneyland as well. I don't remember who the characters were there. But it was cool. I'd like to see them do this event again in the future. I think it would be a really cool way to do this. And a part of this apparently were that the photos you took with these characters were supposed to be free. I looked on the app about an hour ago and it still had the watermark on it. So I don't know if it's something you have to like go to guest relations for or what, but I'm going to check that out and find that out because apparently they're supposed to be free. But maybe I misunderstood the press release, but that was my impression that they were supposed to be free pictures. Doesn't matter. I got a picture with my camera, so it's all good. And by camera, of course, I'm an American person, so that means my phone. So that was cool. I really enjoyed it. I would like to see them do this again. Maybe do it and like once a month or something because it really boosted attendance this morning. I mean, like I said, the line was 3 hours long to meet these characters. So you got people in the parks. That's what you want. So I think doing it again with maybe some more rare characters would be a good idea. It doesn't have to be, you know, my pick would be Darkwing Duck. See, he's right there. But it could be, I mean, even like somebody like Friar Tuck or something from Robin Hood. Something really obscure would be a lot of fun. The Three Little Pigs would be fun. The Big Bad Wolf would be a lot of fun. That would be cool. Just having these other options for these other characters. You know, it's cool being able to meet Mickey and Minnie and the princesses whenever you want, but it's really cool when you get to meet someone that is just not what you think of when you think of your typical day at Disney. And I like that. I like it a lot. I would like to even meet a Zurg. I think that'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to have a dedicated meet and greet for the Splash Mountain people. I think I'm getting into a territory here of a show topic that we could do, like top 10 character meet and greets that I wish existed. To be fair, spoiler alert, number one's going to be Darkwing Duck. I know I keep harking on Darkwing Duck, but he's my favorite, man. I love him. It'd be cool. So let's move on to another topic here that happened over the last few days. Now we've talked a little bit about PhotoPass Day. I think the event was a success. I haven't heard anything from Disneyland yet. It's only 1 o'clock over there. So, you know, some pictures will roll out eventually from that. But there's a few other interesting things that we should talk about over the last few days. And like I said, not a new show, but definitely something. My hair is horrible here. Definitely something we should talk about. So a lot of you guys know, and if you don't know, I posted a video of this on my YouTube channel, and you can check that out if you feel like you want to. There was a... So if you've been to Rock and Roller Coaster, you know that the theme is that you're going to a record company to listen to Aerosmith record a record, and then they give you VIP backstage passes to their concert. And in that scene, he makes a gesture, and I'll do it on camera here because here's the thing. A lot of people were going, I didn't even notice this. This was nothing that no one really even paid attention to. I'm not going to give the name of the gesture. If you feel like you want to look it up, God bless you. That's not a Google search you want to do. But this is for the people on YouTube watching. This was the gesture. He goes, "That's a great idea. How about some backstage passes?" Okay. That's Steven Tyler. That's just who he is as a person. He's not being obscene. He wasn't calculating to be like, "Oh, I'm going to sneak this in. This is going to be funny." He's a rock star. And he just did it to do it. And I think it was just one of these natural things for him to just be like, "Oh my God, I'm so crazy. I'm just going to do my hands like this." But he got really upset, apparently, that they took it out without like talking to him about it. He was not happy. And he took to Twitter and Instagram to show how unhappy he was. And you can check out the picture at I Am Steven, but it was a picture of him making this crazy face with a hat that had a 4-letter word that is the F word, and on it, and he tweeted it and tagged Disney in it, and was like, "I can't believe you wouldn't just tell me." Basically, he just was like, "I can't believe you wouldn't just mention it to me. We would have talked about it." And it was one of these things where you're like, "Oh, this is so uncomfortable." It's like listen to your parents argue when you're a kid. You're like, "Oh, what's happening? So his response, he's Steven Tyler, okay? He can do whatever he wants. He's a rock star. He's crazy. He's got his own attraction at the Disney parks. I mean, he's Steven Tyler, right? He can do whatever he wants. I think he was a little out of line tagging Disney in the picture and making a big deal about it. You have to understand that Disney is a family environment. I mean, you see people all the time that we have to turn people's shirts inside out. They say inappropriate things on them. People wearing, bikini tops to the park. You have to tell them, hey, it's a family environment and you have to cover it up. Okay. So I get Disney's issue with the gesture. I get it. As Steven Tyler goes, like I said, I don't think it was intentional. But when Disney has guests complain about it, that it was offensive, they have to do something about it. Is it a little ridiculous to get offended by that? 100%, 110% it's ridiculous for anyone to get that upset about that. I never even thought about it when I was watching it. I do it all the time. Like, I got a great idea about some backstage passes. I love doing that. I think it's hilarious. I never thought about it. It was never something that was even on my radar. It's almost like you're thinking about that, which is why you're bringing it up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why would you be even remotely offended by this? To even think that makes me wonder what's going on in your head. So I just never thought about it. But on the flip side of this, it's like, it's been there since it opened. It's been there for 15 years. And if that was the case and people were upset about it 15 years ago, I mean, it took 15 years to get this out of, if people were upset. Were that many people really upset about it? I don't think so. I think some people complained, and when people complain, they're the most vocal. And those are the people that pay attention to. I'm sure millions of people have ridden this attraction and not even not even noticed it. And okay, backstory on me. I used to be a stand-up comic, okay? My mind was constantly in the gutter, all right? It never occurred to me that that's what was going on, okay? It's really, really ridiculous that it got to this level where they felt like they had to change it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. It's a little bit ridiculous, but I also understand. So that's how I feel about this. It's ridiculous, but I understand. So that's that. I did a poll over on Twitter. If you would like to take part in that poll, you can check it out over on my Twitter feed. You can follow me on Twitter at Daily Disney Blog. You can see the little poll there. Hit yes if you think if it was appropriate response, yes or no. I don't know what the response to this was. Let me see if I can pull it up here and see what people were saying about it. When I first checked, they were saying that people, okay, so as of right now, I just posted it a few minutes ago, so it's 7 votes, and the question was Steven Tyler out of line with his response to Disney? And I'll turn it around here, and you can see that overwhelmingly people said, no, he was not out of line. As far as I know, once you own the theme park rights to something, it's yours to do with what you will, and you can buy the rights to do something, and then if you own it, it's you. You don't have to, unless there's a prior arrangement, you don't have to go to the people who you're doing the ride around, for instance, Aerosmith, and ask their permission to do something. You own the rights. Disney could buy the rights. Let me try to think of an example. They could buy the rights to Lego for the theme parks and never do a project with Lego ever, because they own the rights to it. It's theirs. They can do with it what they will. And if they choose to do nothing with it, there you go. So I think he was a little in the wrong here just because he tagged Disney in it. If you just do it publicly and you say, hey, I think this was ridiculous, you should have talked to me about it first, then I would be on his side a little bit more. But to the attire that he was wearing, to tag Disney in it, because people who follow Disney will see it because he's tagged in it. A little out of line, man. Come on, take the hat off. You go look at the picture and you'll see what I'm talking about. He's a little wrong in this. Not at fault, not mad at the guy. He's Steven Tyler. He can do whatever he wants. I've said it like 100 times. He's Steven Tyler. If he wants to wear that hat that says that word on it, God bless you. You're the man. I love Aerosmith. Let's just put that to rest. Aerosmith is awesome. I've been in an Aerosmith mood lately, actually. I've been listening to, what's the album? I don't remember. I have to look it up, but I'm not going to do that. I've been listening to a lot of Aerosmith music lately. Sweet Emotion is the best Aerosmith song. Moving on to the last little bit of news here. And usually, if you know me, I've recently been doing a Star Wars show once a week on Mondays called Jedi Talk. And this is a Star Wars story. However, it could be used inside the parks. So we're going to talk about it here, and we're also going to talk about it on Jedi Talk. I'm not going to go in depth into it on Jedi Talk on Monday because it is a theme park story. And Disney has filed a patent, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this. I really am. You can see people who are watching. Disney filed a patent before construction started on Star Wars Land that was this brand new technology. I feel like I need to pull up the article here. Basically, what they're doing is they are doing this new technology to allow people who are in the parks to have a faux lightsaber, and they're going to have these stations set up where like an animatronic will fire a blaster on you and you'll be able to deflect the blaster. Now, give me 1 second while I pull this up because this is a very interesting story and it deserves the proper I'm trying to talk and type here the proper wording of the there it was. Why'd it go away? The proper way to talk about it. So this is the actual quote from the patent, and I'm pulling it up now on my phone so you see that I'm real. And the headline is Disney files patent that could make Star Wars lightsaber a reality. Let me click the read more button here. So here's the diagram, and people who are watching this should be able to see this. I tweeted this out. I think I did. If not, I'm going to. This is the diagram of what's going to happen. So you will be the person right here. This will fire a beam, and apparently we'll talk about what the actual lightsaber is made of, because I thought it was just going to be like the lightsabers that they have now, but apparently that is not the case. I'm going to read it here. This is all foxnews.com, but this is all stuff from the actual patent here. And it's a quote. So this is exactly how it'll work, described in the patent's document. So a process and system captured infrared light that is reflected or emitted from a device that precisely locates the device. The process and system project visible light from a light source towards the device such that the light is precisely targeted at the device. Preferably, the visible light passes through an atmosphere containing particular matter, rendering the visible light as a beam that appears to emanate from the device rather than from the light source. And I think they're talking about the hilt of the lightsaber. So you're actually going to have it's going to emit fog or something. And then you're going to have a sharp beam of light coming from your lightsaber to look like a lightsaber blade, which, what? Seriously, this is going to get crazy. I think there should be more here. Let me see if I can find it here. No, that's the full thing. So this could be a game changer for Disney. If you've been to Hollywood Studios since all the Star Wars stuff has been there, you'll know that it's already this place where Star Wars is. They're pushing it. The Summer Awakens thing was all Star Wars. Even the magic bands they sent out for the Summer Awakens, if you were staying at a Disney resort, said that it had BB-8 on them. It was all about the Summer Awakening, the Force Awakens, duh. So it's very exciting that this could be a possibility. And the idea of being able to have a lightsaber that is actually made of light and is not plastic, I can't even imagine what that's going to be like. And I can't imagine how expensive they're going to be. But it doesn't matter. If I can have a lightsaber that's actually made out of light, that can deflect lasers while I'm at Star Wars experience, yeah, bring it on. I'll take it. Please bring it on. I'll buy one for me, one for my kids, a piece, and we'll have a party at Star Wars. Like, you have to do this. When I first read this, it was excitement about this being a possibility. And it was also kind of like, is this Disney's response to the wands at Harry Potter? Yes and no. I think that when they brought that interactive wands to Universal, that kind of opened up a whole new narrative of what you can do inside of a theme park. I think the lightsaber is a natural extension of that, where you wouldn't want to do like a blaster or something because you're not allowed to have things that look like guns in the park. And I think having this is just, I can't even imagine how this is going to be to have like an actual lightsaber, but I don't understand how they're going to have the fog go upright and have the laser come out. It would actually make more sense to me if we see this at some point be like a hard lightsaber like we have now, that just kind of deflects the laser beam. There's some technology inside the plastic that can detect the beam and shoot it back. But if they go through with this, and by the way, this is not an announcement of this technology coming to Hollywood Studios or Disneyland for Star Wars. This is just a patent filing. Disney files patents all the time that we haven't seen anything with yet, like the drone thing that we talked about not too long ago, for some new nighttime show, possibly going into Epcot. We don't know. But this is an amazing step forward. If they can make this happen, this is going to be next level of next level. Because the Harry Potter wands, at the end of the day, it's a piece of plastic with a radio RFID sensor, or however they do it. It's not. It makes a little thing move up and then back down. This is way past that. This is bending light, like having a way to make light hit other light and bounce back. This is nuts. If you think about just the physics of how this is going to happen, especially with them saying that the lightsaber hilt is going to emit fog or water vapor or something, and kind of a lightsaber come out of that, like this is so crazy. It's a great idea, and if this is something that actually comes into the parks, this guy is going to be so excited. I want to tell you this now because we're still 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, who knows how many years away. The week Star Wars Land opens, I will not be doing podcasts. In fact, we'll probably be doing a meetup at some point because I know a lot of people are going to actually come down for the opening of Star Wars Experience, whenever that's going to be. So we're going to do a meetup there, go to the canteen, and I'm taking a week vacation that week. I'm going to spend the entire week at Star Wars Experience. I'm not kidding. I'm very much looking forward to this. You guys know how much I love Star Wars. Obviously, I do a Star Wars podcast, so I'm a huge Star Wars nut. But I cannot wait for this, and this just makes me even more excited that this could possibly be there. This is not an announcement. Again, just to let you guys know, this is not an announcement. But just that this could possibly be at Disney's Hollywood Studios and at Disneyland makes me very excited. But that's going to do it for today. I just wanted to run through those 3 things real quick. Let's recap what we talked about here. Steven Tyler's response, kind of right, kind of wrong. Photo Pass Day, huge success. It was a lot of fun. And new real lightsabers, in quotes, coming to Disney's Hollywood Adventure. Disney Hollywood Adventure? Did I just say that? Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's not Hollywood Adventure. I got it confused. I was saying Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. Disney's Hollywood Studios to Star Wars Experience. That would be a ton of fun. Just so those rumors don't start circulating, that was just a slip up. I don't know anything about the new name change to Hollywood Studios. I've said a long time ago that it would be smart to do it Disney's Hollywood Adventure because it's themed to Hollywood, and so was DCA's themed to California. Makes sense, but that was just a slip of the tongue. That was not anything because I don't know anything. If you knew where I worked, you saw where I work, you know I know nothing. So that is it for today. Please rate and review the show over on iTunes and Stitcher. Not a lot of people have been doing that recently. Come on, get it together. What are you doing? Go rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. Why are you being rude? Why you gotta be so rude? Okay, I'm not gonna sing that. And follow me on Instagram, Periscope, and Twitter at Daily Disney Blog. And that'll do it for this week. I know I was 1 short this week, maybe 2 short this week. I'm thinking about bringing the show down to 3 days a week because 5 days a week is a lot. And I don't know if I should announce this yet or not. Oh, well, I'm going to do it. They didn't tell me not to. As you guys know, I am a huge fan of Wedway Radio. I've told you guys since I started this podcast that they are hands down the best Disney podcast out there for Disney history. They're the best. A few days ago, Nate Parrish from Wedway asked me if I would do a read on episode 3 of Wedway Radio, and I was like, of course, please send it to me. So I recorded a voiceover in quotes for episode 3. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. That is going to be a surprise when they release the episode, but it's so exciting that I got to be a part of Wedway Radio, and it makes me very, very honored. It makes me feel very honored. Mike Rallman did the last one on episode 2, and just to even be like, for them to even like think to ask me to do that. Oh, that was really loud. To think, I hit my hand on that. Sorry. For them to even think to ask me to do that was a gigantic honor. Thank you guys so much. That made my week. I was actually kind of having a rough week this week. So that actually helped me out. Like, just made me very thankful. So I really appreciate it, Nate and Matt of Wedway Radio, for letting me do that for you guys. If you guys ever need anything from me, do not hesitate to ask. You guys are the best Disney podcast out there. And if you ever need somebody to fill in on a Wedway Now show, I know a guy who lives in Orlando who does all the new stuff as it happens. So that's just letting you guys know. I'm always available to do that for you guys because y'all are the best. I don't extend that offer to everyone. Yes, I do. I need the attention. People need to find more out about this podcast. That's it. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. And thank you guys for watching the show. You guys right here watching me over on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the show. Share it. Go take it on your Facebook. Say, hey, look, I found this podcast that I like. Maybe if you're a Disney fan, you'd like it too. Or maybe you could get into Disney because you want to start listening to Disney podcasts. This is your way to go. Maybe. Actually, Wedway Radio is your way to go. But if you want to hear someone who just rambles into a microphone for 26 minutes, I know a guy, and I'm that guy. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I will see you guys on the next show. Guys, be safe out there, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.